morning, and thank you for joining us on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. We also got Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with our weather and traffic. Things looking pretty out there in Vancouver. Pretty. Pretty.
What a
yeah, I thought you were talking about me for a second. I'm sorry.
Well, you do have the pink on. You look adorable.
We're matching, Rod.
You all are. You're all in gray suits.
All right, okay. Beautiful day. There's no marine push today, so nothing to figure out. Yesterday, I thought it'd be sunny by noon. It wasn't. We did make it to 70, but today it's going to be all sun all the time here inland. You can see a beautiful shot of the Interstate Bridge and the Columbia from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront, 47. There are the clear skies over Portland, 52 is the number. And here's our star pupil, the rising sun camera, out in Chehalis from the tasting room in Sherwood. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous Thursday taking place. Our bus stop weather then. Nice and bright, 51 degrees out the door, about 70 at noon. I've got us at 69 and should be up to about 80 and still rising when the kids get out of school this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Looks good, Rod. Thank you for that. We'll pick it up in Marion County. One trouble spot right now on I-5 northbound, just north of Woodburn. ODOT reporting a crash here, one lane blocked. As we look at the traffic map, I don't see any significant slowing around that yet, but we'll keep you posted. The freeway drive locally in pretty good shape. We had overnight road work on the I-5 south to 84 eastbound exit ramp. That has reopened, so traffic has moved along just fine there through the construction zone. All lanes open. Door number 2 takes us up to the Interstate Bridge. Overnight bridge lifts for maintenance were pretty frequent through the wee hours of this morning. WashDOT has wrapped those up, and traffic is zipping along just fine. So, guys, no crashes locally and no major unexpected freeway delays just yet.
Thank you, Chris. New video from the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office shows the moment a semi apparently cut off and clipped a water truck, sending it barreling off I-84 and rolling through the woods. See right there. Deputies say the semi never stopped after this crash. This happened Monday in the gorge near Dalton Point, and luckily the 2 people inside were not seriously injured, but investigators are hoping that someone recognizes that semi-truck and that tips will lead to an arrest.
The Oregon man accused of helping kill his friend's wife in what's been described as a murder for hire plot has pleaded guilty to murder charges. So according to court documents, in 2024, 57-year-old Daryl Riley broke into the home of Lindy Rummel in Brush Prairie while her husband James was away. Riley allegedly shot her 5 times, then staged the scene to look like an interrupted robbery. Investigators say Rummel's husband brought Riley from Eugene to Clark County hours before the shooting, but denied any involvement in the murder. Riley is set to be sentenced in August.
We are winding down from the 2026 primaries, and while some measures on the ballot were landslide victories or losses, other races are still neck and neck.
Yeah, local election offices are still counting votes, including Washington County in the race for the Senate District 15, which covers parts of Hillsborough, Forest Grove, and Cornelius. Senator Janine Solman is going for her second term. Her opponent, Myrna Munoz, who's backed by labor unions and educators, has been outspoken about reining in data centers.
And so whether that will be a step forward in our economy, having data centers here in Oregon, or whether we're going to say, no, we will protect the environment at all costs, that's a huge conversation right now. And it can go, more center, but we're seeing it lean really left. We're actually maybe having a Zoran Mamdani effect right in Washington County.
And a tighter race is happening for a spot in the House, specifically District 27, which covers parts of Beaverton. Ashley Hartmeyer-Prigg, a Beaverton City Councilor, is backed by the Chambers of Commerce. Her opponent, Democratic Socialist Dr. Tammy Carpenter, has the slight lead. And staying in Washington County, it looks like the race for chair is headed for a runoff. The top 2 choices, both current commissioners, Nafisa Fai and Pam Treese. Since neither hit the 50% plus 1 threshold, they will be back on the ballot in November.
And now back to some of those tax measures that you saw on this year's ballot. In Clackamas County, the failure of a 5-year sheriff's levy could mean cuts to a number of deputies, jail beds, and detectives, along with the county's drug enforcement team. We talked with those who work in the justice system and a man released from the county jail.
I guess that worries me. We also are at the jail all the time. Our clients are living in there. So if there are fewer deputies taking care of them, that's never a good thing for us.
The jail would probably function a lot worse if they lose a lot of deputies, you know what I mean? Because it's going to take longer for to get done.
And the Clackamas County Sheriff calls election results disappointing. It's now up to the Board of Commissioners to sort out the budget or to potentially try again in November. And statewide, leaders are trying to figure out their next move after a large majority of voters rejected Measure 120. Now, that was the proposed gas tax increase to help fund transportation. At last check, it was like 83.3% or something. The governor's office says a work group on how to move forward already had its first meeting.
Meanwhile, Portland City Council has approved an $8.5 billion budget after days of debate over how to close a historic shortfall.
Yeah, so the city was facing a general fund gap of more than $160 million. Councilors passed dozens of amendments before the final vote. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us with the details on what made the cut and what could still change. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, after 2 days of discussion, Portland City Council approved a balanced budget for next fiscal year. And city leaders say it's one that includes painful cuts, but also preserves some key services. Now, the $8.5 billion budget closes a record shortfall of more than $160 million. Councilors considered more than 40 amendments, including restoring funding for programs like Project Ceasefire, Summer Works, and Urban Forestry. Many proposed amendments failed in 6-6 ties, but councilors were able to preserve services like parks, police officers, as well as preserving a fire engine at Station 22. Now, funding public bathrooms, showers, and laundry services for unhoused people were also included, and restoring police desk clerks and youth outreach staff for pausing some pay increases for higher earning city employees. Now, city officials also estimate the newly approved budget could impact about 100 employees through job reductions, though they say that number is still preliminary. Now, Mayor Keith Wilson called this one of the most challenging budget deficits in Portland's city history. Now, the budget still has to go through some legal review, and councilors could make changes to it before formally adopting it next month. The next fiscal year begins officially on July 1st. Back to you.
Corey Johnson reporting live this morning. Thank you, Corey. Meantime, one amendment to Portland's budget is protecting funding for music programs and arts funding across the city. The Save the Arts Amendment was passed by City Council last night. The funding was previously cut by Mayor Wilson and will be taken from the downtown marketing campaign budget. It will pay for summer programming and music teachers. It means families will have access to music lessons regardless of income. This is a separate fund from the arts tax.
Meanwhile, the Latino Network and 3 East Multnomah County school districts are demanding the state reconsider cuts to summer learning funding. Late last month, Governor Tina Kotek and the Oregon Department of Education announced a $35 million investment in summer learning across the state to strengthen literacy. Now, the funding covers the next 3 summers. Park Rose, Gresham Barlow, and Reynolds school districts didn't make the cut, even though they applied. Now, at a news conference on Wednesday, the Latino Network slammed the decision as not equitable for students in the area.
We strongly encourage the governor and the Department of Education to use emergency or rainy day funds to allocate funds to these districts immediately, reconsider their methodology, and call on Oregon legislature to appropriately fund education in the state to better invest in Oregon's future.
Now, when asked about the cuts, the Education Department said in part, quote, ODE remains committed to working with districts, the governor's office, and the legislature to expand these opportunities in the future. So TriMet is welcoming a very special passenger. Meet Lewis. He's a 5-year-old Make-A-Wish ambassador and a major bus fan. So Lewis is in recovery after battling and beating a brain tumor when he was just a toddler. As an ambassador for the Make-A-Wish program, Lewis helps raise money to grant wishes for other kids. He got a special tour using one of TriMet's buses and even got behind the wheel. His mom says his favorite part was opening the bus doors and, of course, honking the horn. Good for Lewis.
Adorable.
He's so cute. Yeah, it looks like he had a great time.
Aww.
And a beautiful day for it, Rod.
Yeah, I love how
See
he's
the blue skies.
just watching the view through the window.
Taking it all in.
Yeah, that's great. Turned out to be nice eventually yesterday. Today, no marine push, just sunny from start to finish. I do want to give you an update on the Memorial Day weekend and the big headline, 2 of them. First headline is still dry all the way through Sunday in our forecast. I have lowered some of these temperatures. I've got the potential of some morning clouds on Saturday. I show 76 both days. Still going for Memorial Day showers with a high of 62 now. It is possible that we have some dry time here in the valley Monday morning before the rain moves in. Possible. Here's a look at where we are right now. Everybody's dry. The marine deck is generally parked just offshore. We have some fog along the coast, but no marine clouds inland. We're all pretty much perfectly clear. Here's the reserve golf course from the Explore Tualatin Valley camera. 46 degrees is the number. Other temperatures, winds are light. Really just a clear sky. Gorgeous start to our Thursday. It's 46 in Gresham and Troutdale and Hillsborough and Oregon City. Wilsonville 52. Salem 49. 50 in Aurora, 51 degrees up in Canby this morning. Here's a sunny afternoon, including the beach. Temperatures will be generally about 70 out east, 77 in Madras, and I think up and down I-5 hitting 80 or close to it. You folks up in Kelso Longview may hit 80 today. It shows 78 for you at 5 p.m. Here's the 7-day forecast. Again, all dry through Sunday. All sun today, might be all sun tomorrow too, 81. And then some cloudiness on Saturday and Sunday, mid-70s. The showers are 62 on Monday. Showers linger into Tuesday. Right now, it looks like we get back to dry weather Wednesday of next week. Here, that is your forecast for now.